but we have common characteristics which are typical for civil system, and they are different from common law system. Yeah. So what are these? For example, one typical thing is that we have written constitution, and the dominant sources of law are statutes. Yeah. So written law.
That's in which law?
Civil law system now I talk about. Yeah. So please remember that statutes are the dominant sources of law in the civil law tradition. Yeah. So basically codified statutes. Yeah. Also, the main branches are really included in the code. For example, civil law is codified into civil code. Yeah. Civil code, basically, it's one code and it contains basically all civil law. Yeah. Nothing like this exists in the UK. Criminal law is codified into the criminal code, and so on. So what is important is that the statutes are dominant sources of law, and these are result of the activity of the parliament. Yeah. So there's a formal procedure how to adopt statutes. Yeah. So there must be always a political will to pass a law, social will to pass a law, and then not easy process of adoption of this law in the parliament, which means that it's quite stable because it's not that easy to change it. On the other hand, it's quite rigid, of course. It's the other side of the coin. Is it's stable but rigid because it's not easy to change it. There must always be a political or social will to change the law, and it not always is the case. On the other hand, in common law, the typical sources of law are precedents, case law, judgment law. So it's the result of the activity of the judges, of the justices. And if it's follow basically the typical is a principle of stare decisis. Do you know what is it? Stare decisis in the precedents. It means basically to stay what was already ruled, meaning if there is already a case and we have now, as a judge, I have another case with similar facts or same facts, I should follow the rule which was already established.